Stimulating.
Flexible.
Engaging.
Dynamic.
Curiosity-inducing. When I think of active learning, I think the core of it is getting the students engaged in the learning process themselves instead of just passively absorbing material.
The active learning idea, to me, engenders a sense of unity in the classroom.
An active learning classroom is a classroom arrangement that facilitates students interacting with each other and actively engaging with the content.
It just increases collaboration and the responsibility of the student to not be the passive student to sit and receive 50 minutes worth of lecture from the instructor, to collectively work together to say, well, we have to figure this out, and he's here for support to help us, to guide us toward the answer, but it's up to us to show each other how to do it.
These spaces and the classrooms I teach in now enable the students, by virtue of their physical setup, to not only be able to interact, but they almost have to interact. And I think that's so essential, one, for peer learning, because they can of course teach each other, but they get to know each other. And not only when they get to know each other, they do things like develop friendships, which I think is great. But more importantly, I think as they develop friendships and they become comfortable with their peers, they feel safer in the classroom. And I think that when students feel safer in a classroom, they're much more receptive to learning, and they're much more receptive to admitting when they don't know something.
The classroom that I'm currently in has student desks arranged in groups, so it's a very natural way for students to, see each other's faces and talk to each other, help each other out, and work together on assignments.
The teacher is mobile everywhere, so the teacher can stop to engage a student one-on-one, can encourage a student that has finished an activity to help a student that is struggling, and can also stop to address the whole class if a student has a particular question that needs addressing for the entire class.
From the feedback I get, on a day-to-day basis from the students, is something that they really value, and it's something that they otherwise wouldn't do. So just by exposing them to new things, I think it will have a lasting impact on their education.
Having the practical use of the space when students are doing practical things and not just listening to lecture the entire time does in fact increase the student productivity and learning, and so therefore I highly recommend the spaces and hope to see many more of the spaces on grounds at UVA in the coming semesters and years.